Minhwan deflected my blow with ease and then twirled away. He landed a palm strike against Hana's throat with a smack. I gritted my teeth as I watched her stagger back, coughing. Yuri darted in, her hands flowing like water as she pushed and pulled the blood in Minhwan. Blood commands were new to us all, and shouldn't have been taught until the 5th year, but Minhwan was certain they could help us in the months to come. Yuri was the only one to have gained any mastery in it, and so she dedicated much of her training to pushing and pulling her opponents around like a puppet master. Now she held Minhwan in a locked mirror pose, forcing him to hold his arms akimbo and present his chest. Blue Moon Day flowed between them, warping the old Grand Master in my vision. We had the advantage, for now. I moved in, my hands electrified with an Enjo spell to shock the opponent into paralysis. Joe was in my periphery, coming in at the same angle. I sidestepped to avoid shocking him too. Minhwan broke free from Yuri's hold, which he had likely feigned from the beginning. He batted my attempted shock strike away, and the spell backfired. Muscle-tensing agony ripped up my arm before I could defuse it with the counterspell locked in my muscles. I dumped the loaded spell into my veins and cut the paralysis in a blink. But it was already too late. Minhwan moved so fast his arms blurred through the air like a ghost. Pain bloomed in my gut from his heavy punch. I skidded back through the worn training grounds, gasping for air. Shinsu gained his feet next to me with a groan. He wiped blood from his upper lip and shook his head. "How do we keep losing?" He growled and reached for me. I pulled myself up with his offered arm and looked at our predicament. Hana had moved in next to Yuri to guard her, while she worked another Enjo spell of blood manipulation. Minhwan was getting particularly adept at rebuffing those attacks, though I assumed, being a Grand Master, he was going quite easy on us. My energy was getting low, and heat blazed through my 2 full core bands. I took a single breath to capture the heat and redirect it into Rai. "Go for his flank. I'll distort you and follow," I whispered in a pant to Shinsu. He wiped his bleeding nose one more time, then nodded. "Don't mess up." Shinsu darted forward, his muscles exuding the black aura of infused Jo Munje. I twisted and whipped my arms through the air, releasing my stored Rai. My fingers worked a complex pattern to direct the Munje, offsetting Shinsu's appearance by almost a meter. It was a spell Hana had devised from the daggers she'd used to fight off Wong's assassins, and something we'd perfected over the summer. Minhwan spun and kicked away Cho, then turned to face off with Shinsu. I completed the complex motions and felt my spell resolve. I followed behind Shinsu as he threw himself into the fray. He got in 2 good swings, both blocked, before Minhwan delivered a low kick to Shinsu's knee and dropped him to the ground. It was as if he'd seen right through my spell, though I knew it had been successful. Grandmasters were just too powerful.